Enciso. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, the West Ham and Brighton match preview. I'm so happy to say we have got Maz back. No, I'm kidding. We've got Jack Albion back. He is not sacked. Let me put that straight. Brett Stevens and everyone that keeps tweeting Jack sacked. He's not sacked. Okay, we're busy. He's busy. He goes to FA Cup. He goes to FA Cup games between matches and teams we've never heard of. That's what he's doing with his life. So
I'm going to slow down this year, though. I've already said this point last year. I've been to 42 games of football. I've only been to 19 this year, so I'm
only 19.
Only 19.
Only 19. So, that's good going, though, Jack. Fair play, mate. And Maz, how are you? You good?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Yeah, day off today, so just been chilling and looking forward to the big game.
Yeah, I have been as well. I was looking forward to this week because we have such a great history against West Ham, as you know. In the last 12 matches, unbeaten. 6 draws, 6 wins. 3 wins on the bounce currently. All those draws are actually in a row. Jack's thinking he's trying to test my ball knowledge, but I did look it up yesterday for work. So hopefully I've got that right.
Do you know when the last game, what the last game was they beat us?
3-1.
Oh, 6-0 championship?
Yeah,
no,
6-0.
Was it that one?
Yeah,
oh,
6-0
right,
in the championship. Ricardo Vazquez.
Yeah, the Vazquez, yeah.
Yeah, hat-trick, wasn't
it? Yeah, he became like the living embodiment of like, I don't know, R9 Ronaldo. He scored like an overhead kick and everything.
He was insane that day. No, I went to that game as well. It was a great day to go to Upton Park.
Yeah.
I also, but like I said, I was looking forward to this game as we have been for the past several years. But we had some awful news at the beginning of the week. Julio Enciso, La Jolla, the star boy, has, I think, something to do with his meniscus. People feared that it was his ACL. Loads of reports coming out. He's out for the rest of the season. He's out for the year. Turns out he might be out for 4 months. So that is the rest of the year. Correct. If I'm right, my maths is correct. Me and Maz were together in the office when the news broke, and we were just looking at each other like heartbroken. So devastating, and it's just so weird, but it just feels horrible to hear, especially to like a player like that who's so promising. But Jack, what was your reaction when you first saw the news?
Well, the reason I've laughed throughout this is I'm not laughing at his misfortune. I've actually torn my meniscus myself. This is an injury which has happened to me a few years ago, and I was back playing football within 6 weeks. So,
if you can do it,
if this proves anything, I'm built different. But no, in reality, I skipped all the rehab, and I remember going to the doctors and them saying like, oh no, you shouldn't do this, or you should be careful. And I just didn't listen to them and just played football. And now my leg still clicks every time I move it. So hopefully he doesn't do that. But
hopefully they take his injury way more seriously.
But it's obviously, sorry, that was a complete side note. Don't worry, I'm back talking bollocks.
That's what we love.
And but no, it's obviously a shame to have him out. He was great against Wolves on Saturday, probably the best player on the pitch, which makes it even more of a shame. I think it's a position where I think we're covered to a certain extent. I know it sounds a bit. I think we've got, if you think about it, if he's not playing, we've got March, Adingra, Mitoma. Probably Buonotto won't go out on loan now if this is the case.
Yeah.
So they probably
João Pedro as well. That's the thing.
Pedro can play there.
João Pedro, this an opportunity here because we were all surprised, I think, as fans, Brighton fans anyway, and FPL owners, because João Pedro didn't start against West Ham, which I think was quite surprising to most people. Against Wolves, which is obviously quite surprising for a lot of people. But Maz, an opportunity now for João Pedro to probably make himself a regular starter now, which I thought he was going to be anyway, but this is a big opportunity for him.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think for me, you always want to see the likes of João Pedro play, I think, sort of week in, week out. But I think what De Zerbi wanted to do was just integrate him slowly. So I was actually quite surprised he started against Luton in the first game, which obviously I was happy about it, but I was quite surprised. I thought he might wait a couple of weeks, maybe slowly integrate him, get him off the bench, over a few sort of 3-4 week period, and then maybe get him starting after a month or two. So yeah, I think it's great, like you said, it's a great opportunity for Joao Pedro to come in, make an impact, and we all know how good he is or how good he can be. So I'm really looking forward to it. But mate, it's a massive shame. Like Julio Enciso, he showed us so many good moments last year. Even as we spoke about against Wolves, those assists and the one at the outside of the boot was just chef's
phenomenal.
kiss. So to miss out on that creativity and that the ability he has, it's going to be a big miss. But like Jack said, I think Buonanotte is going to stay now, and then we'll have we should have still the strength in depth. Hopefully, I don't think we're going to be too lacking in that area. I think if it was maybe like a fullback or centre half, you'd be a bit like shit. We need to sign someone ASAP. But hopefully we got the strength and depth for that.
Yeah, well, exactly like you said, with Europe around the corner, we will need that depth as well. So, I mean, Facundo Buonanotte, if he was going to go to Leeds, I thought that was quite surprising anyway. I know we'll talk about West Ham in a second, but I feel like maybe that would have been way too physical for him to go to the Championship. I thought he would go somewhere abroad maybe, but, I don't know, strange one. But, sorry, what were you going to say, Jack?
I was going to say, we are is one of the targets we said we're in the market for as a new winger. So, as much as everybody seems to have had a meltdown that we're not getting any signings already, there's still 8 days of the window left for us to get potentially one of those targets, someone like Cole Palmer, something like that, who we've had a look at, who might come through.
I would love Cole Palmer.
Yeah. Cole Palmer.
Maz is his number one fan. And I guess someone that we tried getting, who West Ham are getting, is Mohamed Kudus. I doubt he'll be available to play. That would be kind of the storyline there, wouldn't it? If Mohamed Kudus turns down Brighton, signs for West Ham, who haven't beaten Brighton in 12 games, he gets the winner at the Amex. Apparently his celebration anyway at Ajax is like some sort of irons, well, it's the Wakanda one, which looks a bit like irons. So imagine if he does that to the North Stand after scoring 90th minute winner. It's written in the stars. Hopefully it's not going to happen. I hope he doesn't play, but they are kind of building some more technical players now, like Joao Pedro, but James Ward-Prowse, obviously set piece specialist. Only took him 2 corners to finally get an assist on his Premier League return, which is hilarious. So they have ability to score goals now. I guess that 3-1, the scoreline probably flattered them against Chelsea, I would say. They did play well, don't get me wrong, but obviously they got a penalty very late on. A West Ham fan I was talking to this week was saying that any other club that had Chelsea's opportunities would have scored those. So I'd like to think that we will still score goals against them. But yeah, Jack, I am a little bit more nervous than I would be going into this one. I was about to sneeze. I'll go to Maz. How are you feeling towards this one? Are you still confident like we have been in the past against West Ham?
Yeah. Look, obviously we got someone in the office who's a big West Ham fan, and also I'm on a sort of another show that I do with a West Ham fan as well. They're all of them so they're all just like, yeah, you're going to batter us. Like I've written off the Brighton game. You're going to win. And I feel like they're doing that just because they don't want to get their hopes up. One, and also because of how good our record is. But two, sort of just like if they do beat us, it's sort of like, well, we didn't care anyway. Like it's a free 3 points, and it's like, look, West Ham is always a tough team to play. I know we've had a really, really good time against them recently, but they are a good team, like you mentioned. They've got some good players, especially set pieces now. They're going to be really strong from set pieces, as we saw with the Aguerd goal from Ward-Prowse. So set pieces we're going to have to be really careful of. And also they've got like the likes of Paqueta, who's technically brilliant. And also, like you said, if they bring in Kudus before then, which looks very unlikely, but they do have players that can punish us if we're not on our game. And I think that's where it's going to be. It's going to be if we don't turn up, West Ham can punish us. Simple as that.
We haven't got the tallest team, have we? I'm thinking whilst you were saying that about set pieces, I wouldn't say we've got a very tall team. I don't know. Obviously, if we're starting Welbeck, maybe if we start Welbeck, we got another one that can maybe mark some of the taller boys. But let's say they've got a corner. Who are our big boys that are going to be in there with the starting 11 that we imagine will play? You've got Dunk, Webster, potentially.
Yeah, I was going to say those two.
Those two. You've got 2. Then maybe Welbeck can mark someone, but for their goal against Chelsea, it was Conor Gallagher marking Aguerd, which is a mismatch in itself. So I just don't want to see someone like Billy Gilmore, the wee Scottish man, marking some giant for a West Ham player.
I don't probably pay enough attention to work out. It's great I'm on a podcast then. I don't pay enough attention to notice whether we do more zonal or man-to-man marking under De Zerbi. But we seem to, for years now, do zonal marking, which is what they're very good at drifting in the zones. I mean, under Potter, it was pretty dreadful at times. Some of the I can slag him off now because he's gone. But some of the zonal marking was awful, where players would just drift through the box and. So I don't know. I think set pieces are sort of Achilles heel at times, but we do seem to be very much this season if you score 3, we'll score 4 kind of team. So it'll be interesting to see. I think. You're probably right. I'm still a bit worried about central midfield with the lack of physicality with Caicedo gone. I think that's always going to be the case until we get a potential replacement. But I don't know. With the West Ham curse. I just sort of think it's got to end one day, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
And every single game, I just go, "Oh yeah, this is going to be the day it ends," and then it doesn't. It was like the last
13th.
time we played it.
It'll be the 13th game.
13th game, exactly. Why did you say that? Why did you mention that? I didn't know that. And now there you go.
Maybe it means that Pascal Gross is going to score a hat trick, mate. Maybe that's what it means.
maybe.
Number 13.
So it's the 13th game in a row where they haven't beaten us. That seems unlucky. So, there's always a chance that we could do this. But I think, we've got 6 points on the board. We're high on confidence. There's no reason why we can't go into this game and win it. But then,
also as well, I was going to say...
Oh, God's sake. Yeah.
you just got to ride it. But do you think, with West... Do you think with West Ham, they might go into this game, because of how bad their record is, do you think they're just thinking... Oh, do you know what? We've got nothing to lose. Let's just relax. We've had a terrible record against Brighton. We're away from home as well. We don't have the home fans to sort of, appease. Do you think they'll just go into that game thinking, do you know what? Let's just chill. Let's just relax. Play our natural game and we might get a result, because now they've got to a point where they're thinking there's no point of trying to ham ourselves up or put too much pressure on ourselves because we've got such a terrible record. I don't know if don't know if that's... Well, there you go. I don't know if that's going to be a factor, maybe. You never know.
Harambal versus Dezerbismo ball, or whatever we'll call it.
I think they'll just play their normal game. I think, as much... It's weird, in Moyes' press conference today, I don't know whether you saw, I think Naylor retweeted it, that someone said to him, you've got a pretty poor record against Brighton, and Moyes went, how many games is it? And he went, 12. And Moyes just went, fucking hell. That was
no way.
That's his exact quote. So I don't know whether they realise it as much. It's weird because you obviously notice this stuff when you're a fan and you start to note it down. But I do wonder whether the players actually notice it at all, or whether they have any idea that they've lost this many games.
I reckon Simon Adingra has no idea. Even
exactly,
for some of our players, not a clue. Not a clue.
So I do wonder whether that.
No, I think you.
Go on, Maz.
No, sorry. No, I was just going to say, Jack. I think you're bang on. I think the players probably don't take much notice to it, and they probably it's just another day at the office kind of thing. But because of, I think the fans take way more. The amount of West Ham fans that we sort of speak to, they're always like, "Yeah, you're a bogey team. It's the curse. We can never beat Brighton." I think as fans, we put way more on it than the players do. But you never know. It might seep through. Hopefully.
Yeah, I imagine in the dressing room you've got someone like Dunk that might be in the gym. I'm just playing a scenario out, and he'll be like, "Oh, by the way, we've beaten these. We're unbeaten against these boys in 12." Or he'll mention it, or someone will mention it. I can't imagine that it'll be something they don't know about. Because at the end of the day, for De Zerbi, it's probably ammo. And it'll be like, so we've got a really good record against these lot. So the fans will bang up for it and that sort of thing. I imagine it will be said. But no, I get what you mean. Some players maybe might not have a clue, especially the West Ham players, because they've got a few new boys. But I guess it's kind of it for West Ham other than score predictions. What do we think? Jack, do you want to go first?
The first score prediction of the season. So far my predictions that I haven't put on this was we lose 1-0 to Luton and 1-1 against Wolves, so they went really well. So do you know what? I'm gonna
predict another loss, Jack.
Yeah, please.
Predict another loss, please. Yeah.
I'm going to be a little bit pessimistic again because I think I'm very much in the state of I can't believe how bloody brilliant we are. So I'm going to be a bit pessimistic and probably go... I think it's going to be a thriller. I'm going to go 2-2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. Maz?
Very nice.
What do you reckon?
I like that. That I do like that tool. But I will go for a Brighton win, just to be a bit more optimistic and not pessimistic. I'm going to go with 2-1 Brighton.
Interesting. My mind's been going all over the shop. I was thinking 2-2, but then I think will West Ham score 2
4-1?
goals? Yeah, 4-1. Will West Ham score 2 goals? I don't think they will. I think they'll get at least one. And then looking at the chances that Chelsea were having against them makes me pretty confident that we'll maybe convert some of ours because we've been pretty clinical recently, haven't we? I think they've got a new centre back coming in, Mavropanos. We don't know what he's going to be like. So I think that Agerd is actually suspended, right? Or
Is he
Yeah.
Is he ex-Arsenal?
Yeah, he's just,
Mavropanos, yeah, he is.
Yes.
Yeah, so they'll be probably having to throw him straight in, which could go one or two ways. But
and you're right.
I think
Aguerd is suspended as well.
Well, that's good. That's only good news for us. So I'm going to say 3-1 Brighton. I think we're going to score some goals like we have done. They'll probably score a set piece still. And yeah, we'll
Bump
continue
it up to
our
4.
form.
Bump it up to 4.
No. I don't think 4.
Might as well. 3
I
on
don't
the
think
trot.
4. I just hope João Pedro starts simply for my FPL. I need some goals there.
Yeah, Estupinian, great performance last week.
Oh
but
my
keep
God.
the clean sheet, man. Keep
Yeah.
the clean sheet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Please.
Mate, honestly, Matoma and Estepinian, I've had João Pedro, Estepinian and Matoma from the beginning, and I am absolutely flying. But I did transfer out João Pedro before Enciso got injured, and I'm absolutely fuming now. So, I need to maybe transfer him back in next week or something.
Definitely. Well, you've got until 6:30 tonight to make another sub, so get that done. But Jack, it's been brilliant having you back. Thank you very much for coming back.
I'm sure I'd rock up some other time. Maybe after a European away game, drinking some
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do it from Gatwick Airport or some random airport.
Yeah, something like that. Or in flight. A lot of planes have Wi-Fi now. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
They do.
And I'm terrified of flying, so that would be great. That would be great for everybody to watch. Bit of turbulence.
A few beers, a few flight beers, that'd be great.
Yeah. And I was going to say last night, all the European games, we've got the first legs. It's exciting. I'm no Ludogorets Razgrad. I'm very disappointed.
Fuck's sake. For some reason, I've got a feeling we get Marseille.
The draw's in 6 days.
Yeah, I know.
Thursday. Next Friday, sorry. And I'll be so hungover after our work party working with that. So that'd be great. And it's only me working. Terrific. So wish me luck. But yeah, Maz, great having you back as well. And we will see you after West Ham, after we beat them again. Up the Albion. See you later.
Right.
Seagulls.